What does it take to transform one big vacant lot into 3 brand new homes in just under 4 months? Welcome to the Infill build series. I'm Corey Fields and we're building 3 brand new single family homes right here in Northwest Atlanta. It's a prime spot near the West Side Beltline, yet still a transitioning neighborhood, which means huge growth potential for first-time buyers and other pioneers looking to invest. We're putting up 3 spec homes for some investors, each around 1,500 square feet. Our plan, finish all 3 in just about 4 months, from bare dirt to ready to sell. We started with a 22,000 square foot lot, big enough to carve into 3 parcels, each about 7,400 square feet, plenty of room for 3 new single family homes. Each home features about 1,500 square feet of heated space with 3 bedrooms and 2.5 baths, ideal for small families or first-time buyers. By subdividing effectively and building quality starter homes, we tap into the future Beltline-driven growth and boost investor returns. In this episode, I'll show you exactly how we prep the site, from installing BMPs, grading down to stable ground, and how we set up temporary power. No fluff, just the real process behind building these homes from the ground up. Step 1 was confirming city water and sewer lines. When you're building on an urban infill area, you don't want to get stuck dealing with septic if you can avoid it. Sloped lots can lead to tens of thousands in site work. Thankfully, this lot was mostly flat, no major trees in the build zone, and no leftover structures to clear, meaning we could jump straight into grading. A single unknown like bad soil conditions or an easement you didn't check can derail an entire project. Getting this stuff squared away up front was essential to move forward. Before any construction starts, it's not just about clearing the land, it's about protecting the project. Grading is a part of it, but making sure the site stays stable, compliant, and buildable is just as important. That's where BMPs come in, best management practices. They're systems that keep our site clean, our neighbors happy, and the city off our back. BMPs are erosion and sediment control measures. Things like silt fence, seed and straw, construction entrances that prevent dirt from washing into the streets and storm drains during construction. Skip them and you're risking fines, delays, and site shutdowns. On this site, we installed silt fence along the front of the property to catch sediment before it hits the road. Then we covered exposed dirt with seed and straw to stabilize the soil. Now luckily this lot was relatively flat, so we didn't have much runoff, but that's not something you want to gamble on. Proper BMPs don't just protect the environment, they protect your project. To put it simply, if you don't do this right, you don't just damage the environment, you potentially wreck your timeline. If your BMPs fail and you piss off the city, you're most likely going to get a stop work order. BMPs are more than just compliance. They're how you protect your project timeline and your margins at ground level. Building in a city environment comes with extra responsibilities. One of the biggest is protecting existing trees. If you don't plan for them up front, you could be looking at fines, rework, or even losing permits. Tree-safe measures exist to protect mature trees from root damage and soil compaction. In tight urban lots like this, roots often extend into build zones, so even small disturbances can weaken or kill a tree. Our original plan required extensive tree save around every tree near the lot. But after meeting with the arborist, we found a better way. We used the chain link fence on the right side of the lot and reduced the fencing footprint around the large oaks in the back. That meant less fencing and still meeting city compliance. Instead of over-engineering the protection, we focused on the trees that actually needed it. What happens if you damage a tree? If you don't follow these tree-safe guidelines, the consequences aren't just environmental. Damaging a tree, even accidentally, can mean replanting costs, city fines, or delayed inspections. And if a tree is on the neighbor's property, now you're looking at legal issues. If roots or branches are damaged beyond recovery, you may be responsible for removal and replacement, something nobody wants to deal with. Tree protection isn't about just checking a box for compliance. It's about smart planning. We took the time to adjust the fencing, meet regulations, and save on time, all while keeping the lot buildable. When you think ahead and protect what's already on site, you save yourself time, money, and a whole lot of hassle later on. But site protection doesn't stop with trees. It starts the moment trucks roll onto the job. One of the best ways to keep a job site clean and compliant is the construction entrance, the first point of contact between the site and the city. Typically, a construction entrance is a stabilized pad, often made with gravel, that prevents mud and debris from tracking onto public roads. The idea is simple. When trucks and heavy equipment roll onto the lot, the gravel helps knock off dirt from tires so you don't drag it onto the city streets. And on this lot, we had a major advantage. The lot already had 2 existing driveways, which meant we didn't have to create a separate construction entrance. Skipping this step can lead to big fines and even stop work orders if mud ends up in the roadways. A clean, organized site isn't just about keeping roads clear, it's about keeping the crew running smoothly too. And last but not least, let's talk about something no one typically thinks about, but every job site needs, which is a porta potty. If you got crews working long hours, you need a porta potty on site. No one wants to leave the job just to find a restroom. Beyond convenience, having proper job site facilities keeps the site clean, prevents unnecessary breaks, and most importantly, keeps inspectors and city officials happy. A well-run job site is more than just materials and labor, it's about planning for everything, even the basics. Before you can even think about building, you need a solid foundation. And that foundation starts with grading. If this step isn't done right, you'll be fighting issues for years. Cracked slabs, shifting walls, drainage problems, water intrusion, or erosion and soil washout. To avoid those issues, we spent 3 full days grading this lot properly. That meant removing about 10 truckloads of topsoil, old asphalt, and buried debris until we reached that solid, compactable Georgia red clay. That's the difference between a quick, sloppy job and building something that lasts. Grading isn't flashy, but it's one of the most important steps in building. Get it right, and you'll never have to think about it again. After clearing the lot and grading, our next priority was setting up temporary power. Instead of relying on noisy generators, we installed a T-pole, basically a 6x6 post with a breaker panel, meter box, and a ground rod. This gives us a mini electrical service right on site. We chose to plant the T-pole near the center of the lot, but also within safe hooking distance from the street power pole. That way hooking into the main line is straightforward and each future house is easily tapped into one centralized source of electricity. Having dependable power from day one will shave days off your timeline and keep your crew happy, well lit, and productive. And that wraps up episode 1. We took our 22,000 square foot lot, subdivided it into 3 7,500 square foot parcels, installed our BMPs, tree safe measures, and graded down to that stable red clay, as well as setting up our temporary power. This groundwork was vital to hit our 4-month build target for all 3 houses. Next up, we're getting into foundation prep. Footings, under slab plumbing, and pouring these concrete slabs. This is one of, if not the most critical phases in the building process. You don't want to miss it. So hit that subscribe button, and if you found this video helpful, drop a like and a comment below. I'm Corey Fields. Thanks for watching episode 1 of the build series, and I'll see you guys in episode 2.